Ted Cruz decided this week that he wanted to go and give a little speech at Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA conference, and Ted Cruz did what Ted Cruz does, and he tried to come across as a stand-up comedian, but ended up effectively falling flat on his face. Here's what happened. Ted Cruz came out yelling and screaming into a microphone, which is already something you don't have to do because you got a microphone that amplifies your voice. You don't have to yell. But he was screaming about how angry people on the left are. Like, he's ranting and raving like a lunatic, screaming at the audience about how angry everybody else on the other side is. And then things got weird because he started talking about the sex lives of liberal women. I don't want to give too much away, so I will let Ted Cruz say it in his own words. Here's the clip.
Left is so bad. They're so unhappy. They're so pissed off. And by the way, if you were a liberal woman and you had to sleep with those weenies, you'd be pissed too.
What is it about conservatives that makes them so obsessed with other people's sex lives? I mean, look, I get it. Ted Cruz is from the state of Texas. They actually have laws on the books about how many sex toys you can own. That's how deeply involved in your bedroom activities Republicans in Texas are. You know, they want to make sure that, we can't have, these people having sex with this group of people. We don't like that. We can't have children, learning that people can be gay. Just constantly, it all goes back to the bedroom. The bathroom bans, right? Oh, we got to ban transgender people from using the restroom of their gender of choice because they'll sexually assault somebody, because it's all about sex with these Republicans. And Ted Cruz thinks that the reason these liberal women are so angry is because they have these little weenies, as Ted Cruz called them, that they have to sleep with every night. That guy on stage pretending to be a stand-up comic, because deep down that's what he's always wanted to be. I mean, think back to that video of him in college where he trying to be funny, and he did it in 2016 when he was running for president. He sucks at it, but he's got his gut hanging over his belly, hanging over his belt there. Looks like a deformed version of Santa Claus. And he has the audacity to say that liberal men are the weenies. I mean, dude, you look like you should be filling toys into a bag to deliver to children in a couple days. You don't have the right to sit there and criticize who anybody else is sleeping with. I mean, after all, your poor wife has to sleep with you. Here's what gets me. People on the left are angry. Women on the left, obviously, exceptionally angry, but they're not angry because of who they're having to sleep with. You know what they're angry about? They're angry about losing their rights. Because of people like you, Ted, these women, especially in your state, have lost the right to determine what to do with their own body. So yeah, they're pissed off, and rightfully so. Ted, how would you feel if liberal women got together and started passing laws about whether or not you're allowed to do things with your body? Restricting your reproductive freedom. Pretty sure you'd be a little angry too. And by the way, you did come across as angry when you were screaming into the microphone about how angry everybody else is, apparently immune to the irony of it. There's a lot of reason for anger in this country, Ted. And a lot of the reasons come from your party. You are stripping people, not just women, but people across the spectrum, of their rights. You are stripping teachers of their ability to actually determine what to teach their students. You are stripping transgender people and other members of the LGBTQ community, to be honest. You're stripping them of their right to even exist. Trying to regulate their bodies into non-existence. That's what your party is doing. So if we are a little pissed off on the left, which we are, trust me, it's got nothing to do about what's happening in the bedroom. But it has everything to do with the fact that people like you want to shove your noses into our bedrooms and tell us what we should be doing. And I got to be clear, I think Ted Cruz is probably the last person on the planet anybody ought to be taking sex advice from.